Never give up. The three words from Winston Churchill that I believe are the most powerful words that somebody facing overwhelming odds needs to cling to. But how does somebody never give up? I believe it's one word, and that's hope. We've heard that word a couple times, and it was true in my own story. How does somebody never give up? Well, let me tell you my story. Well, when I was young, my mom, a single divorced mom, wanted us to be well-rounded. So she had us in all kinds of activities. As a little girl, I was in ballet, I took tap and jazz, I played soccer. When I was in high school, I was in the flag corps of our marching band. I twirled baton. When I went off to college, I was also very active. You'd see me in the morning pulling on my running shoes and running the perimeter of our campus. I went to the University of Cincinnati and I was pursuing architecture, but my major would later change to communications. And I was also part of a campus ministry. And my friend Dave, over the 3 years that I was there, taught me how to play guitar. So we used to lead music for our campus ministry, and he taught me how to play piano as well. And so sometimes at night I would sneak into the College Conservatory of Music and practice in their practice rooms on the big grand pianos. I love to play music. So fast forward to the end of my junior year, we had a big party to celebrate the summer, to kick off the summer. So it was June 1st, a beautiful day in June, and about 50 of us that were involved in our campus ministry. There was a big party, and it was going to be a whole day of volleyball and picnic, and my friend had an in-ground pool. And so later in the night, me being the more adventurous one, I thought, well, I'm going to get on my friend's shoulders and see if I can balance. So I stood on his shoulders, and I was balancing for a few minutes, but then I started losing my balance. And so instead of falling, I would have hit the concrete. I dove toward 5 feet of water, but I never made it. I slammed my head on the bottom of 3 feet, and instantly I was paralyzed from the neck down. And I was laying at the bottom of the water, terrified I was going to drown, because I didn't think anyone knew I got hurt. And before I couldn't hold my breath any longer, someone grabbed me around the waist and brought me to the top of the water, where I gasped for air, and the first words out of my mouth were, "Bob, I'm not mad at you." I didn't want Bob, whose shoulders I jumped off of, to feel guilty. So my friends brought me to the edge of the pool, and they laid me on the side, and I was so scared. I desperately was trying to move anything. The only thing I could move was I could barely raise my arm enough to have it slam me back in the face. And as you can imagine, I was quite scared, and my friends didn't know what happened. They all gathered around me, and one of my friends said, "Wait, let's pray." So he said, "Father, we don't know what happened to our friend Stacy, but we ask that you be with her, and that she would feel calm, and that she would be okay." And I felt just a wave of calmness come over me. The ambulance came and took me to the hospital. They put me in an MRI and found out I'd broken my neck in 3 places. And my mom, who lived in Columbus, Ohio, I think it took her 35 minutes to drive here about 100 miles an hour on the highway with our friend Kurt, who was like a stepdad to me. Well, the doctors took her aside, showed her my x-rays, and said, "Helen, your daughter will never walk again." Thankfully, my mom never told me that news. So the doctors put me in what's called a halo to stabilize my head and my neck. They put me in the intensive care, and my mom slept outside my room that night, and a couple nights after that as well. She never left my side. She went and got a poster and hung it in my hospital room. You can't see it very well. I took it from, kind of far away, but the poster said, "I believe in me." It was a girl running in the sunset, And she would stroke my face, which was the only part of my body I had feeling in. And she said, "Stacy, imagine yourself running along the beach." And every night we would pray together, and she would be there. And I never questioned that she wouldn't. She was always so dedicated to me and my brother growing up. Well, my friends who, next, there's my mom. This is, after a couple weeks, they moved me out of intensive care. And my friends would come to visit me. They visited me in intensive care as well. They all gathered around my hospital bed. And my friend Dave, who taught me how to play guitar, would play songs that we used to sing. And we'd all sing, and it really got my focus off of my horrible situation and really helped me out. And my friends would go back and they would put me on prayer lists from their own churches. And I knew that because I was getting like 10 and 15 cards a day from people that some I knew and some I didn't even know at all. These are my two best friends. These are my roommates. This is after a couple weeks, and then friends that used to come and visit me in the hospital. So after a month in the hospital, I was moved to rehab in Columbus, Ohio. Actually, it's not that far from where we are right now. It's called Dodd Hall. And I knew it was one of the best. They researched it. And so we were confident that I was in a good place. And one of the first things they did for us as patients, they had a picnic for us. And they had the OSU alumni band come and play. And they also had a baton twirler. And I thought, wow, give me that baton, I can twirl it. But I knew if you put that baton in my hand, it would slide right through my fingers. And I had my mom wheel me back out to our car in the parking lot, and I just cried and cried. And she goes, "Oh, Stacy," she goes, "Wait." She opened her trunk and she pulled out a newspaper, and they said, "They just did a story on you in the newspaper." Said, "Life goes on, and so does Stacy." So she wheeled me back to my hospital room, and someone had put a poster on my wall with a quote that became a favorite. And it said, "I can do all things through him who gives me strength." And that became my motto. I thought, I'm going to do the best I can in therapy to live the best life I can, no matter what happens. So the next day I went down into therapy, and I made the therapist made me make a list of my goals. My goals were to learn how to write, to learn how to type, to go back to school and finish my degree, to learn how to dress myself. I gave my all to therapy. Next. There's me pulling down weights when I can't even hold the weight. And getting on the mat. And this is Kurt stretching me every day, just believing that my legs would move again. Well, I stayed in the hospital for 3 months in rehab, and I gave it my all with all my determination. And this is what can happen when you never give up and you give it your all. So I completed my goals. This is the way I graduated with honors from the University of Cincinnati 2 years later. But let me ask you this. Who's the one in this story that never gave up? Was it me that determined to live my life again the best I could, no matter how I had to live it? Or was it my friends who never gave up on me, who never told me the bad news, who prayed for me, who put posters up in my room, who sang to me, and who drove over an hour and a half each way to come to see me? Having a happy halo removal party for me. Was it my mom who continued, who never gave up, and never let her see me cry, and helped me to continue to achieve my dreams even after I was out of the hospital? And helped me, even when I was scared, say, let me tell you what real fear is. Stacy, she said, real fear is being divorced and having 2 little kids and having to go back to work. She said, that's real fear. She said, don't you be afraid to become Miss Wheelchair Ohio. She says, now get in the car, we're gonna go get your dress. So who are you in this story? Are you me? Are you faced with overwhelming odds that you need to believe and never give up? Or are you my friends that you need to never give up for somebody else, and you need to send cards, and you need to encourage them, and you need to pray? The next slide. When you never give up for yourself or for someone else, it's unbelievable what you could do. You could cross the finish line of a marathon. You could do some amazing sports like water skiing. You could write a book. And you can do things you'd never thought possible. As Winston Churchill said, never give up. Never, never give up. Never, never, never give up.